And we're live on today's episode of This Week in Real Estate. We discuss the losers of the 3-year-old racial discrimination lawsuit and why million-dollar homes are now minus their luxury status. FSBOs are fumbling with price drops galore. And do we finally have home builders targeting the lower third of the market? And is there a hidden too big to fail situation on the horizon once again? We will cover how this one factor could be triggering the worst surge since the crash of 2008. All that and more on today's episode of This Week in Real Estate. Hey, welcome everybody, and thank you for joining us on another episode of This Week in Real Estate, hosted by yours truly, the bearded man of real estate. I'm Ray. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
And that's Dan, and both of us are here for the most important, biggest news of the day. We are all awaiting the word from the iPhone 14. It's going to be an incredible day. We're actually going to go to some live coverage. Who's on the phone right now? I can see him on the phone, but we have a live reporter on the scene covering the iPhone 14 release. Right now, you don't even have to worry about it. They're just talking about watches and stuff, but we have a ton of news today. Oh, and you know what? We forgot to
start Clubhouse, buddy.
I was just going to say, we're broadcasting in 3 locations because we added a fourth and then totally spaced and didn't do Clubhouse. So it was supposed to go. It happens.
Well, we're really excited.
There's a lot that's going on. All right, let me go back to Clubhouse. We're going to launch Clubhouse now. You can also join us. All right, we're live in Clubhouse too. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. You can also join us on YouTube, and if you do, we can talk about you or talk about your comments. So I can put up Matt LaMarche right there. He said, "Actually, first, Scap." So they've been trying to figure out. I guess you got that from the subscription alert. So thanks for subscribing to the show. And then Scap the Appraiser, he's also in there too. So thank you guys for joining us there. And then we have Howard Broadsley. What's up, buddy? Everyone's gonna wonder, like, how did he read that? Yeah. And then Christina M. Smallhorn, she's joining us from Facebook. She said, "And you didn't even say affordable housing, and I'm here." What's up? Thanks for joining us. We said unaffordable iPhone, and you're here.
And I'm extra pumped today.
Why?
Well, we have predictions that have come true. And Ray, for the last 2 years, since June of 2020, I've been predicting a market crash where your home is going to lose 50% equity, and that's happening right now, Ray. It's happening
right now.
Have you seen all the headlines? Dude, even our show, I'm telling you right now, even our show, it's happening right now. 50% crash right now. If you didn't buy, just wait. Do not buy yet. Wait. And if you haven't sold, you're about to lose a bunch of equity. So you need to watch this show today.
Wait, hold on. Hang on. If you haven't sold, wouldn't you want to sell right now before you lose all your equity?
You better sell right now. Then it's going to crash tomorrow, any minute right now. I've been predicting this for 2 years, since June of 2020. I've been predicting this. It's happening right now. The crash is happening now, Ray. It's happening now.
And if you couldn't tell, we actually alluded to that in our thumbnail. That's right. We're rolling back home equity. I couldn't really think of an appropriate movie today, so we kind of took a different route. We decided to use Walmart. You know, Arkansas is home of Walmart, which I am in Arkansas. So we are rolling back home equity, and it looks like thousands more rollbacks are going to be here to stay. So we're talking about some crashing and such.
And I can't.
Christina Smallhorn says, "I refuse to make another housing crash video. I'm tired of explaining that it's not happening." Yeah, but I mean, that's the views. That's how you get the views.
I know. I'm just trying to get views, guys. I can't do it. I got to put my glasses on to actually read. I can't be that guy. I'm sorry. I tried. I really tried.
Olivier reminded us that we forgot to start the Clubhouse stream. What's funny is I started it and I posted it in a couple of places, and in my brain we were on it, which is so fun. That's how many times we've done the show.
Well, you know what it is. It's you have so much to do every show, or we have so much to do before every show.
Yeah.
But we added a thing today. So we added a thing. We have a correspondent, and we're going to be talking about a big event.
We might have some breaking news. Do we have breaking news? Let's go to him right now and see if he's there.
Ray, Tim Macy here, San Antonio. Super excited to report on the Apple event that I'm watching in my living room. Currently, I am looking at the new health tracking on the new watch.
That's right.
I believe you officially announced a new Apple Watch.
Okay.
The only thing I've caught so far is something around menstrual cycles. It will track those along with wrist temperature. So everything's great over here. Apple fanboys, we're happy to report, and green bubbles. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
Well, thanks for that, Tim. We'll be going to Tim throughout the show today, so thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate the update. Y'all say bye to Tim. So throughout the day, Tim's going to be having his eye. You know how people have the eye on America? We have the eye on iPhone today. So Tim's going to be checking in with us throughout the show to let us know exactly what's happening. And we will also have a live blog that's updating right here on the left side of my screen. I have this live blog. Let me see if I can go to the live blog so that you can see that too. Bam. So we have a live blog that's happening. So as Tim is going to be reporting, then we can show images of what Tim's reporting about. This is like a fancy situation that we have going on today. This is big time, I would say.
And we've done this. We've covered this for all 5 years on the show. Our first one, our early shows.
They used to not do it during our show. But we would always cover the Apple releases because I'm a nerd and an Apple fanboy. And
at least 4 years running now. At least 4 years we've covered this.
That's right. So I'm making several of our folks moderators in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us on Clubhouse. If you're in Clubhouse, go up to the little greenhouse at the very top and make sure you're following the Real Estate Networking Club so that you can be alerted of other rooms whenever we launch them. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, I want you to hit the follow button or subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell because that's going to alert you so that you can beat Matt and be the first comment, which is the most important aspect of all this.
It's become a pretty gnarly competition between 4 or 5 of them. I love it.
Interesting. They say they can't hear Macy on the Clubhouse.
I know. I saw that, but
that makes no sense in the grand scheme of how audio is set up. So
maybe his voice isn't Clubhouse ready. Does he talk on Clubhouse a lot? It's just his voice.
You know, I think Clubhouse for him is a lot like video. He used to do it. I'm just watching him laugh at the group. I'm kidding, Tim. He's actually got a really good YouTube channel. Several videos over 100,000. So way to go there. And,
and maybe the best real estate video ever. He actually did a series. Weren't there 2 or 3 of those? I think the superhero ones.
Oh yeah. Those were good.
Were 2 or 3 of those. They were fantastic.
Yeah, where he's showing a house to. It wasn't Iron Man. It was the other guy. Wasn't it the other guy? What's the guy's name?
War
Machine. Yeah, that's it.
Warhead, War Machine.
Yeah. All right. So thank you guys for joining us. A little bit scattered today. We got a lot to cover. I mean, you heard it in the intro. We're going to dive into the Newsday expose, talking about the penalties for the brokerages and the stuff that's been handed out that is going to be what's the word I'm looking for? Punishing. Yeah, punishing the people that showed discrimination towards buyers and sellers whenever they called. So we'll be talking about that. $1 million homes are no longer luxury. We'll talk about why. For sale by owners are having a little bit of a hard time. This was actually on our docket for last week. We just didn't get to it. So
I have a listing appointment on Saturday with a FSBO.
Yeah, they're coming around. I had a guy call me and want to sell his house, and he was like, "I'm going to list it for this." I was like, "Okay." And it's $100,000 more than he should list it for.
Same thing. And I let the dude list. He listed way too high. I let him list it. I'm like, "Yeah, you do that? I'm here to support you in whatever way. Let me know if you need anything." And he called me 2 days ago.
That's right.
He's all, "Hey, so
okay. Before we dive into these articles and see what's happening in the world of iPhone, Dan, would you tell people what our show is actually all about?
You know what I would love to hear? Hold on. Let me go back to Crash Bro Dan.
Crash Bro Dan.
Okay, right up. Okay. Look, when Ray and I met here on the interwebs, we were like trolling the heck out of other realtors in this thing. And we were like, dude, we're kind of cool together, right? So
yes,
I had an idea for a show at the time. It was like, I'm a bearded guy and he's a bearded guy. So why don't we start a show called The Bearded Men of Real Estate? But I noticed something really, really sick about Ray when I first saw him.
What was that, Daniel?
He's had an iPhone since day one, bro. Day one. He's never not had an iPhone, bro, since day one.
That's true. Born with it and here to stay. I actually didn't do the very first version of the iPhone. I'm not a V1 guy. But ever since I think it was iPhone 3, I'm all in. That's all I've had.
Yeah, I'm not a V1 guy either. I always wait. Fine. I'm not a V1 guy either. That's why I still have my Android from 2017, I think.
Every time a new iPhone comes out, I have
another one.
And
another one.
And
another one.
There you go.
But I obviously noticed that he's a beautifully bearded man. But I also noticed he loves bro. He loves giving value up front, not only his clients, but just to humans in general. So our show, bro, is about being more as an agent, but also being more as a human.
Yeah, we have some more sound effects. We do. And one of the ways we believe in being more is to know what in the heck is going on.
What kind of show is this?
Tim just said, you have to text me a heads up before going to cut to me. And I said, nope.
No.
Well, actually, I want you, Tim, to let us know when something major happens. Shoot me a text. But if nothing major is going on, you kind of always have to be prepared. And one of the things that you can listen for is maybe the news break. All right, and we're going to go live to Tim Macy, live in his living room with a live look at what's happening with the iPhone announcement. Tim.
We're still talking about the Apple Watch.
And the menstrual cycles.
Still probably not going to buy one. But it'll tell if you got in a car crash. So if you get in a car crash or an Apple Watch, it will alert emergency services.
So they bought OnStar?
Yeah, but I don't know. It seems a little cooler. And then the battery's going to last a long time, really long time.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Tim. We appreciate you for live update of the Apple announcement. Thanks for coming on the show today, Tim. We'll check in with you a bit later.
He's like an emoji. He's like a human emoji. I love his
facial expressions. You can see him now without his poor excuse for a beard that he used to have. You can see a lot of his facial expressions.
Wait, what they say on
Clubhouse? Well, I like seeing his facial expressions when no one else. He's like down in the green room. When I say things like that, he like looks at me like.
Oh wait. So Ray, I don't think they can hear me or Tim on Clubhouse.
What?
Yeah, they can't hear Tim or Dan on CH.
What? This makes no sense.
Can't hear sound effects either.
But they can hear me. Oh. Hang on. Wow. What a terrible start to a show. I bet they can hear everything now. It's going to be very loud to you guys. So sorry if you've upped your volume. I'm going to start slowly.
What kind of show is this?
Yeah, so
what kind of show is this?
That was because iPhone chose not to use the same mic. And now everyone's sorry, guys. So now we're here. I don't know what happened, but it definitely changed the mic.
Your iPhone did that.
Some would say I'm stressed, but really?
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
You'd never understand.
You'd never understand.
Okay.
Ray's been looking for audio.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fun audio now.
Yeah.
All right, so
all right.
Are you ready to dive in?
Well, yeah, just keep us posted on Clubhouse what you can and can't hear. So let us know.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know. Sorry, guys. This is a terrible opening to the show on Clubhouse. Here we go.
Wait. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, go. Sorry.
Oof. And here we are. Let's talk about this expose.
And we covered this.
We covered this when it originally launched. So it has been 3 years. Can you believe it's been 3 years since that happened?
No, because I don't remember yesterday.
So this news story comes to us from Emma News. 3 years after the big Newsday expose, penalties come for brokerages. Keller Williams Greater Nassau and Keller Williams, sorry, I don't know how to say.
That was super Arkansas.
Realty Elite and Laffey Real Estate will pay $115,000 as part of the settlement. New York State Attorney General's office announced Tuesday. Well, so you have to remember that this was a sting operation. Like there were no actual injuries, right? Wasn't it all just a setup?
It was undercover, remember? And it was
right.
There were allegations. I don't know if we can call them. They haven't been convicted of anything. This is a settlement, right?
Okay, let's dive in. I'll read some more.
They were allegedly treating people of color different. They were treating people of color differently than white people.
Right.
Allegedly.
I think all races, not just people of color, but racial discrimination will pay $115,000 settlement with the New York State nearly 3 years after the Newsday investigation implicated them. Keller Williams. Sorry. Man. This is focus. It's just okay. Let's see. 3 Long Island brokerages accused will pay that. Efforts to discriminate against New York's fair access to housing cannot and will not be tolerated, Attorney General said. These investigations have uncovered a pervasive culture of allowing unlawful discrimination and violations of every New Yorker's right to fair housing. These settlements should be a clear message. If you discriminate and deny New Yorkers their basic right to housing, we will take action. So then they lay out the penalties. Then they also dive into what happened and how it happened and all that. My question is, though, were these like legit home buyers and sellers that partnered with Newsday, or was it a total sting? I can't remember. There were some that were, it says posing, steering an actor posing.
They were
as
like
a Hispanic home buyer. So they were actors.
They were like secret shoppers, remember?
Right.
Yeah.
So they weren't, you would have to think that if they were actual buyers and sellers, that the penalties would be far more steep. You would think, right? Because it would then be a situation in which there's actual discrimination, actual harm. So I guess this would just be a warning shot for brokerages that do this, to say, hey, this could happen to you too.
Don't do this, yeah. But again, we still have to call this allegedly, right? They didn't.
115K sounds light.
It sounds light. Then that's for 3 brokerages. So
yeah,
it does sound light. It sounds like a, hey, don't do that.
Yeah. I feel like discrimination should be a more of a harsh penalty.
And they usually settle just to say,
get this out of the news.
Just to say, get this out of the news.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in the news for 3 years. So it sounds like they've been trying to settle for a while, and then they finally were able to sell it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. It's sorry. I was just checking the comments, see if we had any comments there. You can also share the show. Let's see, a lot of folks that were in the chat saying that they couldn't hear stuff. Sorry, guys. Feel free to come up and yell at me and say you can't hear stuff too. Sometimes I don't even know if that would have worked
now.
Okay,
I think they're good now.
What's up, Shawnee?
It was just your iPhone.
Hello.
Shawnee, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us on Clubhouse. You didn't miss much on Clubhouse. It was a big fumble, but we've recovered.
Always.
Do we have any news? Jack Atteridge says, what happened? Jack Atteridge says the best thing that happened in anti-discrimination for the industry has been a better way than flipping through continuing education screens. Be nice to everyone. Golden rule. Oh, what? The best thing that has happened for anti-discrimination that our industry has seen. And you're saying that he's saying that the sting operation was the best thing to happen to our industry to prevent. Yeah, I would,
because usually for our credits, our CE, our continuing education, it's just flipping through.
Waste.
It is a total waste. You have to flip through things just to prove it, but you don't. Yeah, it's not really anything. So he's saying that this is much more tangible.
All right, it's time to check in. What's going on? Tim Macy coming to you live on location. What's happening with the Apple announcement? Is there an Apple?
I think we're getting another Apple Watch. I think there's a second Apple Watch entering the chat at the moment, and it looks rugged. So it may be for running, diving, and crossing the Sahara Desert, according to the B-roll that I'm watching right now at the moment. It's underwater.
You've already said there's one Apple Watch. This is the second Apple Watch announcement.
Yes. The watch is underwater. There's bubbles. Great Apple marketing. I will check back in with you guys when I have details, but it's on fire right now. It just exploded. But the Apple Watch survived because it's that.
We're gonna take a live look in on the live bloggers. There it is. It is on fire. It's got an orange band, as you can. Oh, y'all can't see him sharing this.
Yeah.
Bam, yeah. It's got an orange band. You can see that.
Wait, why am I here? What are you doing?
It's got an extra button.
Right? You gave me a thing.
It's got an extra button. Cellular in every Apple Watch. Buttons in the crown design for wearing gloves. I mean, this is great updates, Tim. All right, everybody. Thanks so much, Tim. Appreciate you joining the show. All right.
You okay there, Ray?
I'm laughing at Dan laughing. You can't see him laughing. He's super red faced. You know what's no laughing matter, Dan?
What?
Buying a luxury home and it no longer being a luxury home. That's right, ladies and gents. $1 million homes are now losing their luxury status as buyers get space for their money.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the crash, dude. Things you bought it for $1 million. Now it's worth $999,000. It's not luxury anymore.
Wait, that's not what's happening. It's not worth less.
Oh, okay.
Hang on. It's not worth less. It's just that $1 million is no longer luxury.
Oh, okay.
It's called shrinkflation.
Shrinkflation. I think that happened to George on Seinfeld.
All right, so grocery shoppers aren't the only ones who have to contend with shrinkflation. Home buyers have to worry about it too. The trend is hitting homes particularly hard in the $1 million range, where the size of homes that buyers are getting for their money is shrinking. $1 million isn't as luxurious as it once was. This is Skylar Olson, chief economist at Zillow. The idea of $1 million is only enough to buy a typical home has been around for a while in California. Now more markets are experiencing the same sentiment.
This isn't new news here.
No, it's been like that a while there.
Yeah. It's
$1 million homes are getting smaller, according to Zillow. Oh, listen to this. You know, we talked about the Zillow floor plan coming. What was it called? Surfing or something like that? Zillow surfing? It says, yet $1 million homes are getting smaller, according to Zillow listings floor plan data. I think this is the first mention of the Zillow listings floor plan data.
They're Zillow's floor plan data, not the architect who drew this up. Zillow's floor plan data.
That's right. Those homes peaked at 3,021 square feet in mid-2020 and were down to 22,530 earlier this year.
Ooh, that's a big swing.
Yeah. In Arkansas, for $1 million, you can get like 5,000 square feet minimum. You can get a lot. However, home size at that price level has now risen to 2,624 square feet, which is still 397 square feet less than from 2020. Since 2019, typical home selling for around $1 million has shrunk. Yeah, we're kind of covering this. All right, then they just tell us like 3 different ways the same story.
So let me hear Clubhouse and watching on YouTube and stuff. What does $1 million get you in your market?
What's $1 million get you in your market? Where's the chat? There it is. Christina says, it's crashing. It's burning. We will lose our value in a month. Spoken like a true YouTuber.
Yep.
Jack says, Tim Macy needs green screen action. Ooh, that would be tight. Melissa Marr says in her market, you can get a fixer-upper. A fixer on the bay. Well, that's the location, right? On the bay. That's a great location.
Yeah.
All right. Julie Moon says, have you all been drinking today? No, I'm still doing 75 hard.
Which
seems good for you.
Christina Small, thank you very much, Shani. Christina says,
he's a 75 medium, by the way.
75.
Not so hard.
I think it's called 75 reasonable.
Yeah. 75 easy.
Christina in her market get a 6-bedroom, 4,000 plus home with a year. With a year.
With a year? That's a typo.
With a year. Jack says 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 10K lot in decent shape. A 10,000 square foot lot.
Where is he? Is he in LA?
Where are you, Jack? That sounds expensive.
That sounds California.
Jonathan Brooks says 1 million gets you a Costco tent on an acre. All right, you got to say what market you're in too. Oh, she said a yard. 4,000. So Christina says 6-bedroom, 4,000 plus home with a yard.
Yeah.
Hillary Kerchief says a historic house needing renovation, a brand new, tall, skinny, and somewhat developed neighborhood in Nashville. Nashville has really kind of come up in home price lately.
Is her husband Hank, by the way?
Oh my God.
No.
Oh, that's terrible.
You guys are great.
Hillary
Sorry,
said,
Hillary, I
Dan, I
know.
knew that was coming.
I know. I'm sorry.
Jonathan's in Hawaii. Okay, well, yeah.
Okay.
yeah. They're not making more island down there. Michelle said $1 million homes are not necessarily luxury. But what does it get you in your area, Soboka? Just north of Boston. Jack says he's just north of Boston in a coastal town.
Okay. Because I was gonna say that sounds real California.
Yeah. So in Arkansas, I mean, you can get something super nice and big and luxurious for $1 million still. It's not as great as it once was, but that's in the top like 1% of homes purchased here. Robert said he's in Tuscan, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,220 square
Tucson,
foot on
Arizona.
3.33 acres. That's a very specific.
It's like
very specific.
there's one listing for $1 million.
He went and looked at that one.
That's pretty legit though. That's pretty cool. That's a good size house.
Yeah. Nico, what's up, buddy? He's joining us too. He said basement studio or a 3-bedroom, 3-bath on the water with a crappy view. In Weehawken.
Yeah.
Weehawken? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
All right, Weehawken. Sorry. Okay. Let's go to the next article here. Let me bring it up. Bear with me, please. There's a lot going on today. Let's talk about for sale by owners. In a hot market, you would think that a for sale by owner would just be able to list their property, right?
And sell it at whatever they wanted.
And sell it almost immediately. List and sell almost immediately. Apparently, that's not happening in this market of extremely limited inventory. So let's talk about why. For sale by owners usually sell well in a hot market. This article comes to us from magazine.realtor, by the way. The volatile housing market over the last couple of years has driven more consumers towards using real estate professionals rather than attempting to complete the transaction independently. For sale by owners only made up 7% of the home sales in 2021, the lowest share since 1981, according to the latest profile of home buyers and sellers from the National Association of Realtors. That's a stark contrast from 15 years earlier when 12% of sellers went the for sale by owner route during the 2006 housing boom. So that was my big question as we started to read this, which is why I wanted to include it. Whenever you look at the housing boom that we recently had versus the previous housing boom, that's really where you can tell what's happening in the market. Because in 2006, I mean, there was no question that we were super high on housing.
We were Snoop Dogg's high.
We were Snoop Dogg high, Willie Nelson high on housing.
Willie Nelson high. I love that song.
That's right. This just in, we have a live report from our on-location reporter, Tim Macy.
Dude,
Tim Macy,
it's a dive watch. They have a dive watch, and I want it. I see people swimming in the water with the Apple Watch on.
You're a big diver, Tim.
I like swimming with the fishies, and I just know that if I got this watch, I would be like the people on this video. This watch will greatly improve my life if I get it, and it's amazing.
A dive watch? Look at this. Oh,
look, it's underwater.
It says Apple keeps using the word like recreational, though. Not sure it's going to replace a true dive watch for diehard divers, but it's more of a catch-all device in general adventuring.
So they made a G-Shock.
I do love my G-Shock.
It has like more dive computer attributes to it. So I'm gonna go get scuba certified, and I'm gonna buy this watch.
A 2000 nit display. Thanks for that information,
That's
Tim.
a lot of nits.
That's a lot of nits.
Now, do you
maximum nits?
I'm always looking for maximum nits. Now, do you still wear this if you're not diving or going on an expedition?
That's the greatest part, Dan. You can wear this diving. You can wear this in the desert. You can climb Mount Everest with this. You can jump out of a helicopter with this watch on. So many activities you can do with the watch.
And it's only $800.
I haven't seen a price yet.
Yeah. Update us whenever you have the price. Thanks so much, Tim. We appreciate you breaking into the show to let us know exactly what's happening. Tim Macy, everybody.
I think we should have given him control of that, the breaking news.
I wish you could, but
I know
there's not a way to do it unless somebody was actually a producer. I'm not to offend our current producers. Sorry, guys.
Owned.
Owned. Boom. Roasted. Okay.
Bruh.
I do have you did that sound effect really well.
Bruh.
I mean, that's what it is. You did a very good job of that one.
I've been doing that one for a while. My daughters love bruh.
For sale-by owners, we've already talked about this. This is kind of why that they're jumping to real estate agents. Pricing the home competitively, marketing to potential buyers, negotiating the deal, finding trustworthy and reputable professional. That's what they're looking for.
All the stuff. Yeah. Now, I have a question. Did we, during the the hottest market literally ever over the last couple of years, did we ever cover a story that was like FSBOs are through the roof? Because we're covering a story where their FSBOs are fumbling. And by the way, for the lay people listening, FSBO is short for sale by owner. We call them FSBOs in the industry.
We really didn't. I don't remember seeing an article about an increase or about them selling like gangbusters.
It was essentially iBuyers were excelling because they were so prevalent and they were just overbuying and overpaying. That's technically a FSBO, right? You're selling to the investor directly. That's a FSBO. Technically, it's not portrayed that way and it's not sold that way. And I don't think home sellers understand that, but it was sold that way. So I think that, but I never read an article and I kind of always thought like, why aren't we seeing anything on FSBOs explode or a new wave of for sale by owners and people in articles saying, you know what, I would have never considered a for sale by owner, but it was so easy to sell my house by myself. You know why? Because you need a real estate agent professional to sell your home properly and to get it. And now it's that kind of the hangover is done, right? Like we're done. We're now in the hangover of that crazy market. And now it's like people are like, all right, tail between their legs. Okay, I needed an agent the whole time. My bad.
Yeah. Well, and if you talk to a newer agent that's kind of scared to prospect in a hot market, they're like, well, why should a for sale by owner hire me? Somebody that's not familiar with their own value proposition because the market's doing so well. They can just stick a sign in the yard and sell it. Well, yeah, they could, but they're no longer exposed to 100% of the market. They're only exposed to about 10% of the market.
Yeah.
Then on the flip side, whenever the market starts to crash, the new agent complaint is like, oh, well, the market's crashing, so people can't really afford to use me to sell their home. It's like, no, bro, they can't afford to not use a competent professional. Maybe they couldn't afford to use you, but they can't not afford to use a competent professional to help them sell it, expose it to the numbers that we expose it to on the marketplace. But, there's not a lot of agents that do all that either. So
I actually have breaking news right now, Ray.
You have breaking news?
It's not about the Apple iWatch, but.
Oh, okay. Well, let's use this then. Breaking news in studio, Dan Ludwig.
So in my area, I did a quick. What was that?
She said she loves it.
I did a quick search of about a 10-mile radius from me at $1 million to $1.2 million. Dude, take a guess at what you get for that price range. $1 million to $1.2 million. I'm surprised by it.
I'm going to say, because you're surprised, I'm going to say there's 10 listed.
Well, no, not total. I have 38 total listings, but I mean like bedroom, bathroom count, and then size of the home.
4.2, 3,000 square feet.
Lot size.
And then lot size, I'm going to go with 0.18. I don't know what y'all call that.
You guys do that so different, but it's for us, we just say the square foot, but it's 5 bedrooms. This is average, not the median. Median is 4.2, just under 3,000 square feet. This is 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 14,000 average square foot lot, which is what, a third?
Yeah.
And then 3,000, just under 3,000, 2,964 is the average. That's crazy.
That's bigger. That's bigger than I thought, actually.
That's what she said. That's what I thought too. That was really surprising. Now, I'm in the Inland Empire and I did not go towards LA. The second you get over into LA, that would dip down to, I'm guessing, under 2,000 square feet, probably closer to 1,500 square feet. Yeah. Sorry. There you go.
No worries. All right. So let's talk about why someone else might choose to actually list their home in the MLS. Is it actually doing better whenever you list a home in the MLS, or is it doing worse? Newsflash, it's doing better. MLS-listed homes sell for more, new study claims, but there's a twist. So this is an interesting 2 articles that we have back to back. For the second year in a row, the second largest multiple listing service in the U.S., Bright MLS, found that homes listed on the MLS platform sold for more and faster than homes sold off MLS, according to a new study released Tuesday. However, critics are questioning Bright's conclusion that listing a home on the MLS is what caused those higher sales prices and faster transactions, especially if the National Association of Realtors rules meant that the MLS had to anticipate an anti-competitive thumb on the scale. In other words, they're forcing people to list the home because of the new coming soon rule. So are more homes actually selling because they're listed, or are those homes already selling and then they list them?
That's ridiculous.
Well, what do you mean? The coming soon rule, or that
he would even try to put those two together? Like, that's a stretch. The hosts are going to sell on their own anyway. Come on.
By examining Bright's listing data and public records, study found that 83.4% of those sales were sold on the MLS, significantly higher than the 74% in last year's study. The on-MLS properties sold for 13% more during that time, amounting to an additional $45,471 to the seller. So I think it's interesting. Instead of saying on MLS, I feel like they could say with agent, because I think those other homes were selling with agent, but you didn't really have to put everything in the MLS back then, right?
Well, like the pocket listing service and all that stuff, you don't have to go on the MLS. And then what was the one that's riding Zillow's wave and suing Zillow? I can't remember the name. What are they called?
Which one? Oh, the Rex.
Rex. They were trying to go off market and just do their own website and stuff, but they're collapsing their business because they couldn't keep up. They couldn't do it. So we're not anti-competitive. We're the choice to go with.
Yeah. More rigorous analysis. Bright attributed the difference between last year's study and this year's study on MLS homes selling for 17% versus 13% more to, quote, more rigorous statistical analysis. They accounted for property and neighborhood attributes, including the age of home, its square footage, its distance to a region's central business district, census tract, median household income, shared multifamily units, blah, 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 blah.
Well, and we've said it on the show 1,000 times, and Ray just kind of mentioned it. If you're a newer agent that doesn't really know your value, here's some stats right here for you that gives you your value. Whether you've been in this business for a day or 20 years, doesn't matter. There's your data right there. You can just literally put that stat, copy and paste it, put it in your stories, and say, when you list with me, and you have to do it that way. When you list with me, you what was it, Ray?
Command.
You get 13% more.
Yeah.
So even if I do charge you, geez, I could charge you what Zillow and Rex and all these companies charge, 9, 10, 11%, and put it on the MLS and still net you 2% more. But I don't.
We have a good chart to show you too.
This is amazing. Where's this article from, Ray?
This is on Inman, actually.
Inman. So head over to Inman and get these stats. This is really good.
But one of the big questions for this was the office exclusives. You remember that?
Yeah.
Brett had previously noted that properties sold off MLS were generally sold either for sale by owner or to companies that buy homes through instant cash offers or through office exclusives, which are listing agent only markets a listing with their brokerage firm. The latter must submit a form notifying the MLS that the seller has chosen this option.
Right.
Bright's new study found that office exclusives were 3.4% of properties listed on the MLS between April 2021 and December 2021. Of those 5,599 listings, nearly 2/3, 63%, ended up not selling as an office exclusive.
Oh,
isn't that interesting?
So when you're in that market with the agent that's been around for 30 years, and they're going to walk into your house and they're going to say, "Oh no, I have a big enough network. We don't even. I'm just going to go straight to them." Okay, 63% of those don't sell.
I mean, we have a local company here, but I don't have Compass in my market, so I feel like I could talk about them. But Compass is one that's nationally known for doing this, in which they collect all those listings and try to sell them in-house first. 63% don't.
They better be
eventually
careful.
sold
They're
on MLS.
hemorrhaging money right now. They better get rid of this reputation.
About an eighth, 12.6% sold off MLS, and nearly a quarter, 24.4%, had not sold at the end of March, whenever the study was concluded.
Interesting.
Real estate consultant Rob Hahn of 7DS Associates critiqued Bright's off MLS study for overstating its conclusion. Really, the only conclusion one can actually draw from the data on the MLS homes that they have a higher median sell price compared to off MLS homes. But consider the possible reasons. A seller might do off MLS for handyman specials. Investors might sell their off MLS properties. The wealthy tend to use an agent, which means on MLS. And so on and so forth, he says. So he's basically saying that NAR rules could explain why the MLS-listed homes sell for more. We've already talked about that a little bit. And then the devastating impact of NAR commingling rule. Their biggest critique concerned the optional NAR rule that allows MLS to require brokers to display MLS and non-MLS listings separately. So kind of talking about Zillow.
Kind of. So that's what he means by devastating, right? That non-MLS are shown separately.
Right. Uh-oh, we have breaking news coming live to us from his living room on location. Tim Macy.
We're talking AirPods here, guys. We got a new AirPod Pro. Get this huge announcement. The battery lasts, guess what? Longer. The extended battery life.
Longer.
Amazing.
More hours.
Groundbreaking stuff.
Huge announcement.
The biggest thing, spatial audio, so it sounds better. It's $249. Order September 9th, $249. The biggest thing, it has a Find My AirPods thing. So all 8 pairs of AirPods that I've lost.
Now you can find them.
The problem is solved. We can now find our AirPods.
We can find our AirPods instead of listening for the sound, right? So
Maybe
I like
just
the
sound.
I like
I
the
don't know.
case. It's a similar case design, but it has 2 little dots. What are those little dots on the right?
Well, because
side
that's
of
a
the case?
speaker. So it'll play a chime. So it'll help you find your AirPods.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's big news for me, guys. This is huge for me after all the AirPods that I've lost under the car
seat. It's going to save
seat.
Tim a lot of money.
So,
and 30 hours. That is a long time, actually.
And
30
Tim,
hours is a long time.
That's
Tim,
what she said.
Yes. Tim, these are for deep sea diving as well, right?
I'm going to try for sure.
There's 2 times more noise canceled. That's good. Let's see. I want to roll.
Yes, Matt. Exactly. Speakers on your.
Guys, you're gonna have to tune back in here. You should go back to the news because we just saw a new iPhone. No features yet.
Wait.
There's lots of colors. There's lots of flashing and dancing.
Hang on.
But there's a new iPhone.
That's right. You heard it here first. There's a new iPhone. We're doing them all.
It looks mysteriously like
new
the last
iPhone
one.
coming out right now. Tim Macy on location, live reporting.
Wait, Tim, say that again. What'd you just say?
Yes, big news. They've released a new iPhone. It looks exactly like the old one, and it's probably going to be a little bit cheaper.
Cheaper than the old one.
Like, you know what they do? They like take the new one last year and make it the old one this year and then give you the new one. So this is probably the SE or whatever it is, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Bigger screen. How many nits, Tim?
I'm not sure on the nits yet, but the regular size screen is 6.1 inches.
1,200 nits.
That's huge.
For those of you wondering, they're doing a nit count for the day.
A lot of nits here. We got thousands of nits.
Lots of nits.
So I'll let you know when we get the one that people. I'll let you know when we get the one people
screenshot.
actually care about, which is going to be the Pro. Yeah.
We're looking at a screenshot right now of Papa phones and baby phones. What is happening? Is that just a size comparison?
Yeah, we have a 6.1 inch screen and a 6.7 inch screen that you can pick from. If size does matter to you, you have options.
I don't know why it would. Like, you don't. Yeah. It doesn't-
All day battery life. Okay.
No time listed. It just says all day, but there's no time given. It just said
No time given.
It's all day.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Tim. Everyone, thank Tim for the update. Let us know whenever you have a Pro, if we have a Pro. We'll see you later, Tim.
They're 100% going to release another pro, right? It's every year.
Yeah. They every update they have, they also release a pro. So and on this note, let's go to some of the comments. Let's see.
When a
boy
boy
phone meets a nice girl phone. Okay. Above average. I believe it when I hear it, talking about the noise canceling. That's going to be difficult. Olivier said, I could listen to you guys for a long time with these AirPods. That's right.
Yeah.
Lanyard
This show
holes.
might need all 30 hours of that battery.
Oh, there's lanyard holes on the sides.
What? What?
Because now you can wear your case around so you have a lanyard in case you're running for 30 hours and need a charge. You can do that.
That's so unnecessary.
You know what else might be unnecessary? Rex.
For us people that can't keep track of them.
Mia said it's for the people that can't keep track of them, that lose them. Okay. That's the lanyard thing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, it wouldn't hurt if you were at a conference like we were. You just add your iPhone case to your iPhone lanyard case to your lanyard.
Oh,
and there you are.
Hey, we have some updates in Clubhouse. So Mia, okay. I don't know where's Mia. She's got, you get a 23. This is the $1 Million Homes thing. We're circling back 2,300 square foot in a great school district, three or four bedrooms, 2.5 baths, quarter to a half acre lot. Santosha Gillard. I don't know how to say the last name, or is it Gillard? I don't know if it's fancy. 2 to 3 bedrooms, 2 baths in Boston. Shawnee, is it Shawnee or Shani? Have we ever asked? Shawnee. Shawnee.
Did you hear her? Could you?
Yeah.
I was hoping she was. Shawnee.
5 bedrooms, 1 acre, 4 beds, half acre or 3 bedroom townhouse, depending on what part of my marshes in central New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania. Boop, boop, boop. There you go.
Okay, so let's jump back on this thing about the commingling that we were just talking about with Rex. It's not really another total news story. It's just kind of like an additional news story. But the article that is featured in Inman was written by Zillow. It's an op-ed. It's Zillow's senior director of broker operations, Matt Hendricks. He says that Zillow strongly supports updating policies like the one announced in Colorado. So home shoppers want more conveniently see all their available options in one place when searching online. And at Zillow, we've always believed that the best way to help buyers find their dream home is to make available listings easily accessible to home shoppers. Basically saying that they're going to start showing you for sale by owner homes, and other listings available in the same search tab. So this is exactly why Rex sued Zillow, is because when Zillow joined the National Association of Realtors, they had to segregate the homes for sale by owner or homes sold by anyone else other than a realtor, and then the realtor feed. They had to separate those. Now Zillow in Colorado can have a unified feed to show all of those things, all of those houses. So I'd love to know from the listeners that we have today, what do you think of this? Is this a good decision or a bad decision? Last week, RE Colorado, the largest MLS in Colorado with nearly 28,000 professional subscribers, announced their decision to allow the display of listings together on brokerage sites. Why is this momentous? Well, RE Colorado's board voted to remove the old policy preventing buyers from seeing all of their options together in one service and providing a better home shopping experience for customers. Now, keep in mind, this is written from the point of reference from Zillow.
Right.
So, right. So what other agent websites have access to homes for sale by owner to display on their website? Trulia, owned by Zillow, and maybe realtor.com will partner with forsalebyowner.com. Big win for consumers and their agents. We applaud RE Colorado's decision, Zillow says. Zillow strongly supports updating policies like this. We hope more MLSs follow. Tim says it was a stupid policy to begin with. I'm surprised that this is the first time it's gone to court. I don't know if it's that stupid. How long is it until people say, well, I have a house for sale. You have to list my house in your MLS.
Like, even though I'm not using a realtor?
Yeah.
Well, you have to, because realtors go by a code of ethics and have,
No. I just want to list it in the MLS. I don't want to hire a realtor. I don't need a realtor. I just need my listing to be in the MLS, right? Because you have those companies already that are just listing only things.
Yeah,
right?
Through brokerages. Then you can go through we have 1% list, or it's Patrick Wood does that. He's like, I'll charge you 1%. I put it in the MLS and I don't do anything else. You have to do the pictures. You have to write the listing description.
Yeah.
If you want me to do paperwork for you, it's another 2%. And that's also not part of, or doesn't consider what you're going to pay a buyer's agent. So it ends up being 4 to 6% anyway.
Well, Tim says it was a stupid policy, but is it in the best interest of the professional realtors to do it?
Just to have all of them on the MLS, or
just to have all of them? Well, anywhere, like on Zillow, for instance. Is it in the best interest of realtors to have it all listed in one tab?
I don't, because I'm steering people away from Zillow. So for me, I have all my buyers on my searches from the MLS. So
yeah,
and I always tell them, if you find anything on MLS or on Zillow, Truly, or whatever, screenshot it and send it to me, because I need to see the real details, because those aren't oftentimes going to be wrong. They're going to be delayed because it's not the actual holy grail of data. The MLS is.
Right.
So I always steer them away from Zillow and all those websites, and I don't mind if they look. I just say you have to send them to me so I can check the multiple listing service or cross-reference it with the search I have you set up on.
It's interesting to me because I totally understand what you're saying. I understand what Tim's saying. So I can look at it and say, yeah, it was dumb to have to split a realtor listing from a non-realtor listing on a website. That's dumb. But also, should a board of realtors who represents realtors be the one making the decision to change that? Like, why not go to court and then set a precedent that we could do with what we want with that, and then make whatever changes you want? I just feel like I don't know, something about it doesn't sit well, but I can't put my finger on what it is.
Well, and
I'm not a protectionist of the data either. Like, I want all of this data to be out there. I think that's a great thing. But there's a lot of real estate agents that are protectionist over that data and think no data should be released. So I don't know.
I kind of used to be that way, but I'm not really anymore. It's out there. Like, you can't, even when you don't list your home, the data is already out there. It's, the data on your house is out there. They know bedroom, bathroom count and square footage and all that stuff. So having them commingling or all in under the same tab or whatever, because they had to separate, right? So under the same tab, I don't know how it would affect. I don't know. For me, it's better, I guess, for the buyers, because they can see more. But that info is not necessarily going to be correct unless it's, a for sale by owner only listed on Zillow or something. And then we can talk about the effects of what that has for the actual seller. But to me, I don't know. It just seems, because this is what kind of killed Rex, right?
Yeah. And maybe they're going to be. Maybe they'll find
are they coming back?
Speaking of coming back, that's right. We have breaking news on the iPhone announcement. We have on location reporter Tim Macy. Tim, what's the breaking news?
Yes, breaking news. The new iPhone has, you guessed it, longer battery life than the last one. And also, a big thing just happened. Our 2006 cell phones have officially left the building because they've eliminated SIM cards. There's no more SIM cards.
No more SIM cards.
eSIM, which is groundbreaking news here. Such a technological update. I'm really excited to live in a day and age where
the battery life's huge. The battery life's huge.
Krista said this is the highlight of her day. You're welcome, Krista.
Unbelievable.
Let's go live and see what's happening right now. So no SIM card. It's now doing an eSIM card.
Some dudes just got in a Black Hawk helicopter. I don't know what's going to happen, but they're flying through the mountains.
Looks like you've been in a crash. So it's got crash reporting on your phone as well.
Are they going to crash the Black Hawk? They can't do that. Black Hawk down.
No, it's like emergency reporting. So if you're lost on the top of a mountain, you can send a signal and the helicopter will come get you.
This is a live breaking question from Matt LaMarche in Atlanta. Does it go to crap after a year like the other 13 versions?
On the record, no, it does not. But check the software updates. All the bugs are in there.
Yeah, that's where they put the bugs.
Yes.
The blogger for The Verge says Apple would really, really like for you to never go into a carrier store again. And I support that decision. I would never like to go to a carrier store again.
I don't think people enjoy going to the AT&T store. So good on
Any stores. When I go to part of the reason I don't have a new phone, guys, is because I don't want to go into a Verizon store. That's part of the reason, because I know I'm going to be there for 3 hours.
So
they're really hitting hard on the emergency services.
Yeah. I think I don't know if car crashes are a big thing this year, but they're won't administer the medical services yet, but it'll call them pretty quick.
Well, then
interesting.
It sounds like they're expecting their clientele to be rather active with the diving and the mountains. I mean,
no. If you're gonna be that active with diving and mountaineering, then you should have emergency services also. I think.
Wait. May be a response to distracted driving. They know so many people are getting accidents while they're on their iPhone. They said, "Hey, maybe we should figure something out here."
Put a thing in there. All right, so I have a question for you, Tim.
Yes.
The diving phone, does it have emergency services on it?
Will they come get you at the bottom of the ocean?
Will they come get you at the
key question?
I should listen, we'll try it when I get to the bottom of the ocean with my new Apple Watch Ultra.
Hit the button and see what happens.
That's it.
LeVar says, or you could just leave your voicemail on your last location like a real man.
Be a man.
And then he says, you say, I'm on a freaking mountain. Save me.
Be a man.
Be a man. Ruin it yourself.
Wait, car crashes are up 40% since COVID. Is that because people are actually leaving the house? Is that the thing?
People forgot how to drive for those 6 months they were locked in. It was awesome.
Yeah. Krista hits the nail on the head. She previously said this is a Super Bowl for Silicon Valley, which is where she lives and works. So she said this is for the people that think they're adventurous but actually want the fanciest Apple Watch.
Well, and dude, notice when they're releasing it. It's becoming fall, and what's going to happen in about 4 months? New Year's resolutions. People are going to be like, I got to get out there and hike.
I got to get out there and start mountaineering and
they're
diving.
going to get stuck 5 miles into the Claremont Forest up there.
Yeah, like all these speakers are out in a field somewhere or on top of a mountain, like talking about the watch. It's interesting.
That's hilarious.
I don't care about the phone or the watch. I like Tim's commentary on their marketing.
I like the commentary on the watch. All right, well, thank you very much, Tim.
I will say, comparing this to the Android presentation that nobody watched, I have to say this is quite interesting.
More viewers, that's for sure. Yeah. Thanks, Tim. And that was Tim Macy coming to us live on location from his living room with the updates on the Apple Watch and iPhone. Thanks, Tim. All right. That's good. Good call. So anyway, Zillow supports this decision. I can't remember where we are. We went so off the rails.
Well, remember though, when this first happened, they were like, sorry, Rex, we're brokers now. We have to do this. And now they're like, no, we fully support it. Because they're like, dude.
Does anyone think that Zillow is actually out there to fight for the agents?
No. Remember their old CEO that left 2-3 years ago? You actually had conversations with him saying, no, I'm here for the agent. I'm going to go fight for you. And then you brought it up on the show again, 2018 or so it was. Watch what's going to happen. It's going to shift. They're going to have a shift. They're going to go away from being agent centric and they're going to go more for Zillow centric. And now what have they done?
In my opinion, he was the canary in the coal mine.
Yeah.
And speaking of canaries, we said for a long time that we're seeing some price reductions, but now there's some reports of home value drops. Maybe this is the canary in the coal mine. This is
what I've been talking about, guys. This is the crash. I've been predicting this for 2 years. By the way, can you predict something for 2 years until you're right? Because we have something at the end of the show, by the way. Stick around because we've been predicting it for a while.
We did predict.
We were 100% correct. So stick around for that. But boys, this is my boys. This is the crash. This is where you lose equity. So sell your home today. If you don't, you're going to lose 50% by tomorrow. I'm telling you, this is happening now. Bruh. I'm doing it.
All right, 1 in 5 sellers are dropping their asking price as the housing market cools. And as we all know, as realtors, dropping your asking price definitely means a devaluation of homes. Right?
No.
What?
If
Are you saying there's not a devaluation of homes because people are dropping their price?
no.
Well, they overpriced them.
Right.
What?
Some realtor listing, so he said, "What do you want to price it at?" No problem.
What do you want to price it at? Sure, no problem. Oh, you actually want to sell now? Maybe we should drop your price. So 1 in 5 sellers. Now, I'm no mathematician, but isn't that 20%? One in five home
That's
sellers
20%.
are now dropping their asking price
Dropping
as
their
the housing
asking
market
price.
cools. Yeah.
But that just means asking prices were overinflated.
Oh, does it? So this
That's
is their
all that
contention,
means.
and this is on CNBC. Home sellers are now getting nervous. The once housing market is cooling fast. 1 in 5 sellers in August dropped their asking price, according to Realtor.com. A year ago, that share was just 11%. What was it? 2 years ago? 3 years ago? The average home sold for less than it list price for the first time in over 17 months during a 4-week period ending on August 28th, according to a report by Redfin. Homes are simply not selling at the breakneck pace they were 6 months ago. So I was talking about pacing, not pricing. When strong demand butted up against the tight supply, bidding wars were the norm, and seller could often get a signed contract under a weekend. Homes in August sat on the market an average of 5 days longer than they did a year ago, the first annual increase in time on market in more than 2 years. The supply of homes for sale is also rising fast, nearly 27% from a year ago. So wait, are you telling me? Hang on. I'm no economist, but you're telling me that an increase in supply could decrease pressure on current inventory, making homes sit longer and forcing sellers to be more competitive.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Mia's like, yeah.
Oh, no. Hold on. No,
Crash, bro.
That over. I think we have a better chance of getting a listing versus having 30 offers. And
yeah, that's true too.
Dude, I'm telling you, Ray, this is the overinflation of the market. We are having inventory come on at historic rates. We have too much inventory right now. This can't happen. It's built on sticks. We're going to get so much inventory flooding in that it's all going to crash. I'm telling you, Ray, it's happening now.
The crash.
Emotional, damn it.
All right, so for many of today's buyers, the uptick in for sale options is taking away the sense of urgency that they felt during the past 2 years when inventory was scarce. And Daniel Hale, chief economist of Realtor.com, said, as a result of the shift, coupled with higher mortgage rates, competition continued to cool in August, with list price trends indicating that shoppers are tightening their purse strings.
And by the way,
median list price in August dropped from $435,000 to $449 in July. Dropped to $435,000 from $449 in July. Sorry.
Asking prices.
What were you saying?
If you watch the show, this isn't, all these articles are way behind the curve. So if you've been watching the show, we've been talking about this for 4 months. It's been cooling. It's cooled. I mean, it's still not, I don't think it's still, because we're not even at inventory levels from 2019 yet. We're still well below that. But these articles are very, very reactive.
This just in. Guess the starting price of the Pro. Guess the starting price of the iPhone Pro. Put it down there. We'll also put you in a drawing for a prize. We'll
$13. Well, $12.99.
$12.99.
So $1,300.
The starting price, I'm going to guess $10.99. $1,099. This is the starting price, guys, not the fully tricked out version. The starting price.
Oh, well, whatever. I'm going to stick with mine. I don't know iPhones, so I'm just guessing.
Okay. Do we need to go to Tim? I think we need to go to Tim just because of his
Matt
eyes.
said $1,750.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news with the iPhone Pro. Let's go to Tim Macy on location, live in his living room, watching the announcement now.
It's
Timmy.
up. It's up there. Look at him.
It's
He's
up.
surprised.
Is it
Wait,
good?
it's either high or low. He's
Oh my
surprised either way.
There's so much bass. There's so much music and lasers and lights. The iPhone Pro, it's here. The iPhone 14 Pro. And
so
how does the screen look?
Completely like they reinvented the same exact phone they put out last year. It looks amazing. But it's the thing on the top is a little bit different. It's in the middle instead of being on the top. They lowered it like a millimeter, whatever smaller than that is. Yeah, it's amazing innovation here.
What are you saying is they lowered? What did they lower? They lowered the little.
They lowered the
notch?
camera.
Yeah,
so
whatever
it's no
they call
longer
it.
A notch. It's like its own little circle thing.
It looks like a notch still.
No, that's the 14. You haven't seen the Pro yet. They're not as up to date as your breaking news.
Oh, wait, hang on. What's purple?
There you go. See the difference? That's the Pro.
The purple is the Pro. Oh,
Isn't it amazing?
Dude, they made a purple one.
They finally made a purple Pro.
Yeah,
I am so in on that.
They lowered the camera, and Matt lowered his expectations.
So
I'm actually texting my team now. All of you now have to buy. All of you have to buy the purple one. That's great. Great news. I like this. So I see the little oval, I guess you could say, at the top instead of the notch, and it looks rounded instead of squared.
Oh yeah, look, they're gonna integrate it into the screen, so it's like a part of the experience. You're gonna need it.
What's integrated? You mean
the
the
way
black
they're showing
thing?
the video? Like you're gonna get notifications right around that thing, like it's gonna expand, and like after you use it, this thing's gonna feel like a dinosaur. I can tell.
Oh, I see the little sleep symbol. Okay.
Yeah, like
and
they move.
the little facial
like
recognition.
Yeah, it's
look,
it's not that Apple phones have better processors. It's not that Apple phones have better. They just are sexy. They just do these little sexy design things that make them better than the green bubbles.
Yeah, because you can't really see the notch when it's like that.
Look at
because
that.
it's built into the little notification.
The widget goes over it.
It goes around it, I guess you could say. So the notch is now built in. Like you see the directional thing on this screen.
It's just
very
pretty.
cool. Oh, the timer that's rolling. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah.
Well, and then they do.
So basically, they touch. Say that again.
They do lots of bass and they do lots of pretty colors, and then they have their marketers are on mountains talking about it. You know, they do a good marketing job. People right now are drooling over this. And do they have the price yet, Tim?
A what?
Do they have the price yet? Did we say that?
No, we're guessing the price. Drop the guess of the. So I can tell you that the iPhone 14, not the Pro, the iPhone 14 Plus starts at $899. So I'm interested.
I think Ray's going to be right.
I'm saying $12.99. What the Pro's going to be?
No, the Pro is going to be at least $500 more.
I'm saying $12. I'm sticking then $12.99.
I'm guessing $11.99. I'm
going to say $14.99. $14.99.
Then you're on pace with what Matt said. And then, by the way, Melissa Mara prices righted everyone and $1'd it. So
that's not how we play the game. Okay, that was a stupid rule on the Price is Right.
I love that rule. It's the best thing ever. $1.
So that's it, man. I'll come back to you with the better intel when they like talk about the camera. You know.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much, Tim. Everybody, that's Tim Macy coming to us live.
It's thinner. They just said it's thinner.
It's thinner.
It's thinner.
Longer battery life. More nits. Thanks, Tim.
More nits and it's thinner.
Oh, man. There's so much shady going on. And while during the show, there are two shady agents that are trying to skimp out of correctly responding to an inspection request. They're just trying to terminate deals instead of responding to the request. It's so funny.
Are you
Their
on,
contention
what side are
is
you on?
I have the buyer. All right. So the contention is that if they respond and to the inspection repair survey addendum, and then the buyer says, no, I'm terminating based on your response. Now they have to disclose to any other buyers that a buyer terminated due to an inspection response. If they terminate and the buyer accepts that termination based on before responding to the URSA, then they no longer have to disclose any issues with the property. And I've got 2 agents trying to be so shady and doing it that way. It's bad. That's a bad look. I don't know if you're an agent out there that's trying to do that kind of stuff, but just so you know, it's bad look and you have no integrity. But okay.
Ooh, breaking news. Ray calls out agents live on the show.
Just saying. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. All right. Sorry, guys. Little aside. You got a little aside there. So let's look at the map. Did we talked about the sellers slashing their home prices, right? We've already talked about that, right?
Yeah, the market. Oh, I have to put my glasses.
Market's cooling. Yeah, you got to do your crash bros.
The market is going to crash. This proves
That's
it.
right.
This proves my theory. I've been saying this. I've been monitoring the data for a year and a half. This is it right now. Sell your home today. Call me. Sell your home today before you lose half of your equity.
Or, hey, now's a great time to buy.
Yeah.
So, okay, the post-Labor Day slowdown was likely a bit more intense this year than in previous years when the market was super tight. I want to go to this Fortune article because they actually have a map showing you where the highest number of price reductions were. So how fast are sellers slashing home prices? Oh, man, I need to subscribe. But I'm literally looking at it in my other window. But in this window, I have to subscribe to see it now. Why?
We'll just cover it real quick. I'm sure California's on there.
Why did it do that? Oh, well, now I can't show you. Thanks, Fortune. This was a free article literally yesterday, and now it is no longer a free article. So whatever. Now they've put it behind a paywall, and I can't show you the Fortune article, so we're not going to do. No map for you.
Did you talk about Bank of America?
Yeah, it was a map of America, and it would show like the little, you can almost see the dots. Let me show it again. You can see kind of where
I was saying, I'm sorry, I missed part of the room. Did you talk about Bank of America?
Oh, no, we didn't talk about Bank of America.
Okay.
All right, you can kind of see the outline.
Oh, they paywalled the second half of it and like blurred it.
Yeah, they paywalled the map. It's so
crazy.
Dumb. All right, anyway. All right, so there's that. So home prices are dropping. So this is, are you talking about mortgage lenders starting to go bankrupt? Because that's some news. All right, mortgage lenders are starting to go bankrupt. How could this be a factor in triggering the worst surge of failures since 2008? The real estate market just can't catch a break, with inventory of resale homes remaining low and rising interest rates making it harder for buyers to justify taking the leap. And now we can add mortgage lender bankruptcies.
Ooh, I'm telling you. Put my glasses
Non-qualified
on.
mortgages to the factor of aggravating an already uncertain market. So don't miss. Forbes says that 2 of every 3 Americans are draining their savings to cope with significant suffocating inflation. You could be, non-qualified mess. Non-QMs use non-traditional methods of income verification and are frequently used by those with unusual income scenarios and are self-employed or have credit issues to make it difficult to get qualified for a mortgage. They've previously been touted as an option for credit-worthy borrowers who can't qualify, but with First Guarantee Mortgage Corp and Sprout Mortgage, a pair of firms that specialize in non-traditional loans not eligible for government backing, recently running around, real estate experts are beginning to question their value. First Guarantee filed for bankruptcy protection while Sprout Mortgage simply shut down. What?
Okay, but is that because of those loans or because they overextended themselves with the refi and overhired? With the refi boom and overhired. That's what a lot of them
didn't make those adjustments really quickly like we saw other mortgage companies doing.
Right. And, even if they're laying them off in a sketchy manner, they were making adjustments quickly to stay in business. So I always like it when I like it when they try to blame something on something just to make it sensational, but it's really, I'm really, I can almost guarantee that the smaller companies overextended themselves on refis because they're like, dude, we can make so much money right now, but then they leaned too heavy on refis, not planning that they would eventually go away.
It was the tighter lending rules that contributed to their popularity recently. Still, many non-QM lenders will be challenged when loan values start falling, which we just talked about. The pricing drop, right? Many are now with the Federal Reserve's move to raise interest rates. When values drop, non-bank lenders will always have access to emergency financing or diversified assets that can tap larger markets. It doesn't say. I was trying to figure out in the article if it mentions the refi. It doesn't, but that I don't know what their refi business was like. But it's an interesting canary, right? We're talking about canaries a lot today. MoneyWise is where this article came from. It was then republished by Yahoo Finance.
Yahoo. Yahoo.
Well, it's Yahoo to me.
Yeah.
I think it's funnier to do Yahoo.
Yahoo. Yeah. When I call someone a Yahoo, I call them a Yahoo. But when it's the technology company, I call it Yahoo.
Do we have any breaking news?
I don't think so.
Maybe we should check just in case. Breaking news from our on-location correspondent, Tim Macy, live on location in his living room. Tim, any more breaking news?
They're currently showing all the amazing pictures they take on iPhone that nobody will ever be able to take on iPhone, and they look fantastic. I've got a couple of great.
Tim, can I get a clarification first, Tim?
Yes.
What kind of TV do you have?
I have the Samsung frame. It looks fantastic. I'm watching it.
Okay.
It's very immersive.
Tim, I have to tell you that the quality of those photos are directly related to the television you watch them on, because you're not seeing the iPhone photos. You're seeing the iPhone photos as transmitted through your television.
Yeah, but you're missing the point, right? They have these professional photographers take a million freaking pictures with the iPhone, and they take the absolute best ones and they show them to you like you could take those too. And then you go home, you take a picture of your kid, and you're like, I'm an idiot because my picture does not look like that one.
Yeah. My kid doesn't look like that kid.
My kid doesn't even look like that kid. You know?
My kid doesn't look like that kid.
So we have an always on display, lower refresh rate. Battery conserving. They haven't, I don't know if they've said extended battery life yet, but I'm going to assume that we've had extended
battery life. Is it an OLED display, Tim?
They said that on the other one. I saw that on the other one. 14. So
can you tell me the number of nits?
How many nits?
I've got 16 billion transistors, 17 trillion computations per second, and 4 trillion operations per photo on their 48 megapixel camera. I don't know on the nits though. Thousands of
4
nits.
trillion operations. That's a lot. You're gonna have to have a lot of nits.
A lot of
in order to see. I mean, if you want to see all those computations, you have to have high nits.
You need the nits.
I actually just texted my grandma and told her she should apply for a job at Apple with all the knitting that they're doing over there.
There's a lot of knitting.
I think she could get a job.
Thanks so much, Tim, for your Apple update. Let us know whenever you hear her price.
So come to us for real estate news every week, but stay for the nits.
Stay for the nits. Speaking coming back and forth, what about your children? Probably could have phrased that transition better, but 67% of pandemic boomerang kids are still living with mom and dad. Okay, so what are pandemic boomerang kids? These are the kids that left the house during the pandemic. They came back.
They went,
they're still there.
And now they're still at home.
Yeah. At the height, this article comes to us from CNBC. At the height of the COVID pandemic, many young adults moved back in with mom and dad. It was an unprecedented moment of uncertainty, and college campuses were closed and jobs were scarce. More than 2 years later, 67% of those millennials and Gen Zers who moved home are still there, according to a recent report by LendingTree. Most said they initially moved in with their parents out of necessity to save money, but they decided to stay because hefty student loan bills, housing costs, sky-high rents are making it harder for them to move on. Jacob Channel is LendingTree's senior economist. He said, with inflation as high as it is and with rates rising, it can be difficult for anyone to make ends meet in today's economy. Why are so many young adults live with mom and dad? Multi-generational housing, that's a thing. maybe that's more and more popular. Finances are the number one reason they're there. They have a chart that is not behind a paywall. Go to the chart. Chart shows living with parents since the 1900s to the 2020s. And it's interesting. It made a jump from 47% in 2020 in February to 52% in July of 2020. So it's not really that huge of an increase. That's still a lot of kids living at home, but it's not a gigantic increase. You know, you're not seeing 90% of millennials moving home. Right. And what they're saying is that split there, that 5% increase, of that 5% increase, 67% of them are still at home. I know, is this huge? It is not huge news for me, but it could be an opportunity for people that are looking for, you know, someone wanting to buy their first home. And now that home prices are slashing, it may be your chance, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, you have an FHA loan, you haven't been able to compete with conventional or cash offers in the past. Well, now maybe is your time.
Now's your time. You can unboomerang yourself.
You can unboomerang yourself. And not only that, you could get stuck with a mortgage for 40 years.
What's the opposite of a boomerang? Just a throw? Just like a
frisbee?
Just you could frisbee yourself.
40-year fixed rate mortgage is now back. Non-bank mortgage lender Newrez, N-E-W-R-E-Z, is going back to the playbook from the latest last housing boom, rolling out a 40-year fixed rate mortgage. It says will help borrowers and investors who have been priced out of today's housing market by providing a lower monthly payment. And that's the biggest news that the 40-year mortgage does. It lowers your payment instead of over 30 years, over 40 years. Our Smart Series products, like the 40-year interest only, are developed to meet the needs of today's borrowers and open the door to thousands of prospective homeowners.
Wait. What?
Huh? Yep.
What'd you call that? A 40-year interest only?
Smart Series of products.
40-year interest only.
Yes. Yep.
Interest only for 40 years.
It's going to make the loan way more affordable for buyers. So
it's also going to make the lenders a lot of money.
Unless home buyers make more than the minimum monthly payment, the only way to gain additional equity in their homes during the interest-only periods is if their home's value goes up. And if their home's value
what's the
depreciates.
interest-only period? Is it 40 years or is it less? Does it say?
I think it's...
Is it the entire term of the loan? That's...
I think it's 40 years.
Just for the lay people watching, you understand, if you go interest only, you're not going to really ever build. I mean, if your home value goes up, you'll get some equity, but usually it's home value goes up a little bit. I pay it down. That builds your equity gap in there. So if you're not paying any principal down, any part of the loan, you're just paying the interest. You're just waiting for your home values to go up. And we know the interest, home values are going to crash any minute now. So,
but you own a home. You own a home.
Right. No, I get that. You own a home and you're still locking in, even at a reasonable 3 to 5% a year, you're making in. I get that. It's awesome.
But then you know what happens? The day comes to sell. But
it's a prison.
Well, vault, maybe.
Oof.
Okay. 40-year loans. You could go create a 40-year mortgage, but no one would buy it, Goldman told Inman at the time. The whole mortgage system is dependent on a 30-year market. Newrez did not immediately respond to a request for comment whether it knows borrowers are taking out a 40-year interest-only loans will be a higher risk of default in the event of the downturn.
Okay, here's my next thing that you need to be real careful on. So if you're a first-time buyer, this is more affordable. Now, I'm literally spitballing this, so tell me if I'm wrong or work with me here, but this is coming off the top of the dome, right? I don't think you can say dome anymore. I think that's a 90s term, 90s. But if you're going to buy your first home, likely you're not going to live there for 40 years. It's not going to necessarily be your forever home, especially with increased values out there, right? You're just going to try to get yourself into something and then leverage whatever equity you do have. And then
maybe zero, but yeah.
Okay. Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's the plan, right? I'm going to leverage any equity I build and I'm going to turn that into the next home. That'll be my forever home. Or maybe the third or fourth home will be my forever home. But it's very unlikely that as a first-time home buyer, which this is going to appeal to, it's very unlikely that you're going to build much equity in the time you want to sell within 4 to 7 years or whatever the average is now. It's going to be very tough to build equity if you're only paying the interest.
True.
It's just a little sage advice from your elder statesman here. From the Zoomer, whatever.
But hey, what if, wait, what if, oh, hang on. Breaking news. The bearded man of real estate goes to our correspondent, Tim Macy, live in his living room, watching the Apple announcement. Tim.
Do we have a price?
We are at $10.99 for the Apple 14 Pro Max and $9.99 for the 14 Pro.
$10.99 for the Apple Pro 14 Max, which is what I initially said. $9.99.
I think you said $10.99.
I did say $10.99.
But we upped it. We upped it when we saw the price of the other one.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it's so
only $200 more.
That's it. I don't know why anybody would get the 14.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Just get the Pro.
Just get the Pro.
I need to look at the differences because there's some people that are just not going to use everything that's involved with the Pro, the third camera, but
the camera is pretty well upgraded. You got a 48 megapixel RAW function on pictures to take, like, you know, if you want to print giant prints for the phone from the phone. The box is $40 extra. Not true.
Those are nice boxes, though.
And they've got a 4K at 24 frames a second for cinematic. And I use cinematic mode all the time.
All the time.
That's a pretty
Christina M. Smallhorn. Are you really asking this question? She said, wow, I need a new phone. Is it worth it, Tim?
I like that she's asking me. Christina, I appreciate you not worrying about these guys, all right, and asking the expert. And yes, I'm hitting the order button. You should hit the order button too. Another the iPhone is, I don't know, like I do everything on that thing. So why not?
Get the iPhone. Do you what number do you have, Christina? If you don't have the 13, at least you got to get it because the cinematic mode is just so quality. I mean, it's so good. I love it. I've actually started making more videos with my iPhone than with all the cameras that I have around in my studio.
Well, you know, we do all the vacation videos, right? So we're getting ready to go on vacation, and I'm looking at all my camera gear, all the Sony A7 III, the this, the that, and I'm like, I'm just gonna bring my iPhone. I go underwater with it. I go on the roller coaster with it. I do the cinematic with it. I don't need any other cameras.
Yeah. iPhone and
question really quickly.
Oh, wait. Say that again. Say it again, Shani.
Sorry, I had a question I really wanted to know because I have a 12. I was really thinking about going to 13 because I figured it would be on sale, but do you think the 14 is really
go 14.
They put it on sale to bait you into buying the old ones they can't get rid of.
Yeah, go 14 because then you can just keep the 14 for 2 years.
Yeah.
Get on the 2-year plan. If you got the 13, you'd have to upgrade it next year to the 15. So you could do that, but now you're buying a phone this year and next year. If you buy the 14, you're buying one phone this year and then wait 2 years and get the 16.
Yeah, and like Matt was commenting on, Christina's got an 11.
Girlfriend, let's go.
It's time, Christina. Let's have a heart to heart.
You're being phone shamed right now, Smallhorn.
No, we're not shaming anybody. I know Christina, love Christina. Christina, it's time. It's time for the new phone.
But especially for a creator, I would say.
Especially
like let's say you just answer the phone and make your calls every morning. I don't know.
Hold on. Now that I have one video that has 11,000 views, and that's my only good video ever. But anyway, Ray and Tim both combined have really good views on their YouTube channel. We're talking to Christina Smallhorn, who gets 100,000 views on
she gets
individual videos, and she has an older phone. I mean,
I know what you mean, but it's just the camera's so much better. The phone's so much better.
Like, she's not using the phone to shoot her 100,000 view videos.
Yeah,
but she could is the point. She could.
I'm talking more about happiness. Like, it just makes you happier.
Wow.
And plus, it's just sexy.
If you wanted to see three guys dance to Never Gonna Dance Again.
Careless Whisper,
In the
well, thanks so much, Tim.
You have to get it for the knits. Do it for the nits.
Do it for the nits, if for nothing else. Thanks for the update,
Exactly.
Tim. We'll stay tuned for just a little bit. We only have a couple more articles and wrapping up. Let us know if anything else of significance happens. But we appreciate you coming on. So thanks, Tim. Everybody say bye. Okay. So what I was about to say was, you know what you could do with a 40-year loan is you could buy a new construction starter home. That's right. Home buyers or home builders are now targeting low-density, low-cost metros. Since the onset of COVID-19 pandemic, home builders have shifted their high-density, high-cost areas to lower-density, lower-cost areas, according to the National Association of Builders. Meanwhile, single-family homes building on the outer suburbs and the large, medium-sized metros have expanded from 17.4% to 19% during the same period that the inner suburbs went from 44% to 41.6% of new construction, single family. Quote, the geography of home building has shifted over the last 2.5 years, with more single family and multifamily construction occurring in lower density markets. This shift was the first caused by the initial impact of the pandy. I don't think we're going to get slapped anymore, but the shift continued in recent months due to housing affordability conditions, and are causing both prospective renters and buyers to expand their geographic search for housing, aided by the hybrid work patterns.
And this is what Smallhorn has been here
work.
the entire time. This is why she's been here. They're going to make affordable housing.
There you go. Affordable, maybe. Well, so this is what it says. They're building in more affordable areas, but it doesn't necessarily say.
What are they going to list them at?
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily say that the builds are going to become more affordable.
Right.
So, and that last thing I read was a quote by Robert Dietz, his NEHB chief economist, which I might have a connection to now. So I'm working on getting one of those guys on our show. So if they're on here, y'all be on your best behavior. Yeah. Looking in the last 12 months, single family production has slowed in all regional submarkets, both large and small, due to ongoing building material production bottlenecks and construction labor shortages, and the Federal Reserve tightening monetary policy. That was NAHB Chairman Jerry Conter. So that article was on Real Trends, but we also have some news from the NAHB that we'll be get to. We actually have a release date for. I went through and got the Fed Reserve release date, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, NAR's release schedule, the U.S. Census Bureau, and NAHB. So we have all of the release dates for all of the reports, so that we'll be able to report on those directly whenever they're released instead of just reading the articles. But that one, good information from the home builders.
I promised someone else I would be on my worst behavior. So
Christina says, you mean they're going to make affordable housing? Who knows? Oh yeah. And that was a quote. I didn't realize you were reading Matt's comment, Dan.
Yeah. That's from The Office.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I promised someone else I was going to be on the,
it's Jim.
Dusty said you need to share a master calendar. That would be good. NAHB folks that feel yucky about the housing market. Yeah. So the Builder Sentiment Index was released a couple of weeks ago. We talked about, and it was below 50 for the first time in a long time. So they're not really up on what's happening. I mean, they're up. They know what's happening, but they're not really excited about what's happening in the housing market right now. But I guess that could be in part because mortgage demand is also dropping. Mortgage demand drops further as interest rates shoot back to a June high. Wait, what was that, Daniel?
Just a big story would be mortgage demand drops 80% week over week or month over month. That would be a big story. But saying it dropped, because it's going to compare it to a year ago, and I haven't read the article, but I'm going to guess that it says 83% compared to a year ago, something like that.
I mean, let's look.
But week over week,
as a result,
month,
mortgage applications to refinance a home fell 1% for the week, and we're 83%. But that's refi. That's refi applications.
Okay,
you nailed it. Mortgage rates to purchase dropped 1%, and we're 23% lower than the same week a year ago.
That's not that big of a dip, really. Like that's crazy, especially with interest rates.
Was.
Yeah, it was insane still, and the interest rates are at 6 now or whatever that. So that's right. Interesting to me.
He said this is Frenton Tony. He said recent economic data will likely prevent a significant decline in mortgage rates in the near term, but a strong job market depicted in the August data should support housing demand.
Going to be
no sign
real
of
interesting.
rebound.
Real interesting on our prediction show to see what we all predict for next year. Real interesting.
Yeah. Mortgage rates shot even higher this week. Investors await a new slew of speeches by the Federal Reserve members that could give more insight into how large the next rate hike might be. Many are saying it's going to be another 0.75% rate hike, by the way.
I would say no.
You would say no?
No.
All right. Steak dinner.
Let's see what they tease, though. See if they tease a rate hike.
I think it's going to be a 0.75.
So up to 6.5.
I think it's going to be another one. Yeah. I think it's got to be.
We're getting close to the speech I've been giving buyers my entire career. Even if they go up towards 7%, we're still at historical lows.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, historic lows, but it's hard for people to comprehend historic lows at the new all-time high sales prices.
When and interest rates were just at 2.45 2 years ago. Yeah. Canada just got a 0.75 bump.
It looks like Tim left, so there's no other announcements. I guess they just ended the announcements. So yeah. Actually, the blogger stopped blogging too.
We never got the nits, dude.
It went directly back to the blogger went from the last screen that we were looking at with Tim to Tim Cook, and then it's like, and it's over.
They gave you the price and they're out.
2,000 nits. There's the nits for everyone.
There you go, 2,000 nits. And if you don't know what a nit is, use Google to search.
All right, so there's one more. I guess, we need to cover this just so we can show we're right. I'm not going to cover the next one. The next one says homeowners lose wealth as rising interest rates weigh on home values. We've kind of already talked about that. I meant to make that a portion of the other one that we talked about, where 1 in 5 home sellers are now dropping their asking price. I mean, okay. It's an asking price drop. It's not a home value decrease, and home value is already up. And I think I've said this previously on the show, but if you were, let's take a year ago, someone sold their house and they sold it above ask, right? Then, so you have the original sale and then the above ask. Then you have the next person listing their home, right? And they're looking at the previous sold and they're going to list it just above, right? And then, hey, they're going to sell above ask. Okay, now you're way up here. Well, then you have the next person listing their home and they're going to go above ask maybe a little bit and also get above ask on their home. So now they're up here. And that continues to happen. Eventually, you're going to find an equilibrium in the market in which you're not going to be all the way at the top anymore. But it also doesn't mean that suddenly, compared to last year when sellers were getting 15% above, suddenly you're not getting any above, but you're still higher. Your home price is still higher and your value is still more than last year because you're up here. So I hope we all kind of can comprehend how this is working and explain that to our buyers and sellers and the people that are worried about what's happening in the market. But to my chagrin, the media definitely does not understand that.
We can't do that, Ray, because that's not sensational. We can't do that. We can't all understand or agree on that. We have to stay sensational in the news headlines.
There you go. But it's eternally frustrating for me because it's just so, I mean, whenever you see a headline like that, like homeowners lose wealth, this would be a good piece of content, in my opinion. If you're still with us this late in the show, take that article. It's on CNBC, homeowners lose wealth. Snap a green screen behind you of that article and put it behind you and talk about how this is a bonkers headline and it's just not accurate as to what's happening in the marketplace, and try to educate the people into what's actually happening. But there's another article I wanted to cover, mainly because we are so right. I mean,
we couldn't have been more right.
We could not have been more right. So we'll do the coffin dance as I display the article. Here we go. Home price growth is slowing dramatically. That's right. You might say that home price gains slow. I mean, it's basically exactly the headline that we've been telling people to watch for about 1.5 years or 2 years.
And remember, 3-ish months ago, Ray, we saw home price gains slow in the article, but we haven't seen a headline yet. This is the first headline that says home price growth is slowing dramatically.
Literally, the only word we got wrong in the headline is instead of gains, it says growth.
Growth, right.
So It's exactly. And what we said about this is whenever you see those headlines, prepare for other articles talking about decreases in home values and the crashing market, which we've seen that all the way through. But this is also the first time in which we've seen both of these headlines in one place, where you see home price growth is slowing and then homeowners are losing wealth.
It's almost
really
like
losing wealth.
It's almost like we know the news cycle in real estate and we can predict it. It's almost like that.
Almost
like that happens. By the way, Ray, can you show him the t-shirt, please? Come on.
One more week.
God, I have it
Next
up
week.
on my screen. I can hit share right now. You can't.
No,
stop
next week we can
me.
get
You
it.
can't stop me. I'm gonna hit share.
We got some exciting news coming next week.
Really cool. It's literally, I'm excited about it. I can't.
It's a little fundraiser. And you know what's interesting? I should bring up Justin Conoco has been here longer than 5 seconds. He's like for the last half of the show, he's been here. So thanks for joining us, Justin. Dan, as we leave, could you tell people where they can find you?
I was gonna make it funny. Now I can't. But yeah, go follow me on LO, Google Plus, and the new MySpace.
Yeah, Matt says last week you said next week. This week, what? Last week you said next week.
We're just it's last week tomorrow with John Oliver. But no, right there, D Ludwig Rocks. DLUDWIGROCKS. Go follow me on Instagram.
That's right. You follow me on Instagram too at Ray Zorback, RAYZORBACK, or if you're on Vero, isn't that VERO? Isn't that the new thing?
I don't know.
You can find me at Ray Ellen there, RAYELLEN. That's at VERO. It's a new social media. If you're not a part of it, you should join. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Sorry, Clubhouse, that I totally botched the first couple of minutes of the show. I appreciate you guys hanging in there.
By the way, where can you find this kind of value in one show? I mean, iPhone releases, real estate market updates, marketing ideas. Where can you find if you find
banter
value? If you found 30 seconds of value in this show, go like and subscribe right now. Please hit the little bell on share, whatever you want to do. If you found any value at all, our views are consistently nudging up, and
it's good.
That little threshold where they're going to start hitting 1,000 every week. We need to start. So please. I'll literally beg you, just go like and subscribe.
And most of you guys are listening to us from the podcast, so we appreciate that too. Please don't forget to share it. Rate it if you are listening from the podcast. That way other people can find it easier.
Yes, please.
But thank you guys so much for joining us. And we will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Time to crash, bros.